Hello everyone, in this video, the teaching is from a grandmother to her grandkids on the topic of the difference between selfishness and self-care. Come and sit with me for a moment, because selfishness is one of those quiet things that doesn't always look ugly from the outside. Sometimes it even disguises itself as strength, independence, or just taking care of myself. But if you listen closely, you will begin to hear its true voice. Selfishness does not begin with bad intentions, it begins with fear. People often live selfishly because they are afraid of not having enough, not being enough, and not being loved enough. Deep inside, there is a voice whispering, if I don't care of myself first, no one will. And so they begin to hold tightly to time, to money, to attention, to love. They grip life as it might run away from them. At first, it feels like protection, but over time, it becomes isolation. You see, selfishness is not just about taking more than you can give. It is about closing the door between yourself and others. It is when your world becomes so centered on your own needs, your own feelings, your own survival, that you no longer have space to truly see another person. But let me tell you something important, my dear. There is a difference between self-care and selfishness. Self-care says, I matter too. Selfishness says, only I matter. Self-care restores your energy, allowing you to give more. Selfishness drains others so they can feel full. This is where many people get confused. They think they are protecting themselves when in truth they are slowly building walls that no one can cross, not even love. So why do people become selfish? Sometimes it's because they have been hurt too many times. When kindness is not returned, when generosity has taken for granted, when love is not appreciated, when heart begins to withdraw, it says, enough. From now on, I will think of myself first. At other times, it comes from one's upbringing. A person who grew up in scarcity, whether emotional or material, may learn to compete rather than share. They learn that there is never enough, so you must take what you can while you can. And sometimes selfishness grows quietly in comfort. When life gives someone much success, wealth, and admiration, they might slowly forget the struggles of others. Their world becomes small, even if their life looks big. Now, how can you tell the selfishness has taken root in someone or even in yourself? It is not always loud. In fact, it is often very subtle. A selfish person listens, but only to respond, not to understand. While others are speaking, they are already thinking about what they will say next, how the conversation relates to them, or how to turn it back to their story. A selfish person gives, but with conditions. There is always an expectation, recognition, gratitude, or something in return. And if they do not receive it, they feel resentment growing quietly inside. A selfish person struggles to celebrate others. When someone else succeeds, instead of joy, they feel comparison. Instead of admiration, they feel threatened. A selfish person avoids inconvenience. If helping someone requires effort, time, or sacrifice, they hesitate or they disappear. Their kindness is present only when it's easy. And perhaps the most telling sign is the lack of curiosity about others. They do not ask deeply. They do not wonder. They do not sit long enough to truly understand another person's heart. But here is the part. Many people do not want to hear. Selfishness is not something that only other people have. All of us, at some point in life, lean toward it. There are days when we are tired, overwhelmed, or wounded. When we close on ourselves, we become less patient, less giving, less aware. That does not make us bad, it makes us human. But it becomes dangerous when it becomes a habit, when we stop noticing it, when we start justifying it. So, what is the way back? It begins with awareness. Pay attention on how you respond when someone needs you. Notice how you feel when others succeed. Listen to your thoughts when you are asked to give more than you plan. The small moments reveal the truth of the heart. Then practice opening again, gently, not all at once. Ask someone how they are and really listen. Give without announcing it. Celebrate someone else without comparing it to your own life. Stay a little longer when it would be easier to leave. These are small acts, but then they soften the heart. And remember this, my dear, life is not meant to be lived alone inside your own needs. The deepest joy does not come from protecting what you have, but from sharing who you are. A selfish life may feel safe, but it's also very small. A generous life, even its risk, it's wide open and full of meaning. So check your heart from time to time, not from judgment, but from honesty. Ask yourself, am I building walls or am I building bridges? Because in the end, it is not how much you keep that warm your soul, it is how much love you allow to pass through your hands and into the lives of others. So now you know the difference between self-care and selfishness. So it's okay to take care of yourself, to self-care so you can feel restored and allowing you to give more. But don't be selfish, because selfishness drains others so you can feel full, and you don't want to be full by draining others.